Yo, PC fam, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Chill with Chill. Happy to have everybody here. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. You know, we are so international. Of course, y'all know I'm happy to be here. Chill, how you living?
Hey, man, it's Saturday. It's Chill with Chill. I'm here with the big fella. You know what we do on Saturdays. The energy always different on Saturdays. Like, that's why we moved to Saturday. It's always different on Saturday. We was on Wednesday, but it's just the energy different on Saturday. I just love it.
Definitely. You know what? My man Alan R just came and kicked in the first super chat. Let's start with that. Let's see what Alan R is talking about real quick.
Yeah.
Alan R says, I'm trying to push this Luka agenda since we playing defense this year. But this guy Jokic just keeps getting better. Shake my head. He needs to stop tryharding.
I'm watching him last night, Ox, and that Phoenix game was great. I don't know what it is. You and me had this conversation a while ago. There's certain players who, when they see other teams, Kobe Bryant was like that when it came to the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know what it was about the Spurs, but it was like they owe him some money or they said something foul about his lady, because whenever he saw them, it was trouble. It was absolute and utter trouble. I don't know what it is about Phoenix, but whenever Luka sees Phoenix, they got their hands full. I don't care who is on the floor. They got their hands full with him. No doubt about that. So there's a bunch of things that I could say about Luka. Just I still see him not getting back on defense. I do see a little bit of effort, Ox. I do see a little bit of effort on the defensive end. I'd like to see it more consistently. I do. I still think he's the best scorer in the game. Last night, watching him navigate in the paint, Luka's pick and roll and putting, as they would say, putting guys in jail. That shit should be studied, Ox.
Right.
The way he does that and how effective he is it? How effective he is at it, where he can get a guy on his hip, keep the guy on his hip. When Derek Lively or anybody is diving to the basket, he stays right in line with him. So when Daniel Gafford is diving to the basket, he stays right in line with Daniel Gafford and holds that defender long enough that they can come off and he can throw the ball to the rim or he can score it. And when he gets into the mid-range and when he's taking efficient shots, Luka is he's the best scorer in the game, I think. I don't think that there's a better scorer in the game than him.
Yeah. To Alan's point, and to your point, Chill, he's definitely given a different effort on defense. So far from what I've seen, this is the most defense I've ever seen Luka play. Mind you, like I said the other day, I've only really seen 2 games from Dallas. So I hope that he's showing that same consistency in the other games. What do you think that is, Chill? You think it has anything to do with the finals? You think it has anything to do with losing those finals and him kind of realizing that I need to step it up on this end of the floor?
Luka got rabbit ears, just like they all do. They hear us. They know what it is. And they recognize, you know what? I'm tired of hearing this. That's how Jordan got as good as Jordan got. Jordan, you don't play defense. Oh, you don't think I play defense? Okay, let's get to the bottom of that. Jordan, all you do is score, and you can't score and win an NBA championship. Well, you don't think that I can do that? Let's get to the bottom of that. Luka hears the fact that he's awful on defense. Luka hears that he doesn't give a lot of effort on defense. He hears that. And as a competitor, when you hear something like that, you're going to say to the cameras, you know, I don't really pay a lot of attention to the outside people. Yes, you do. 100% you do. And it's evident that watching the NBA Finals, to your point, watching the NBA Finals and seeing how bad he was just on the biggest stage. Okay, I got to give more effort. I might not be Drew Holiday on the wing, right? I'm not Mikal Bridges out here. I'm not going to lock anybody down. But what I can't do is I can't just be a cone. On some level, I gotta give some level of effort. And the effort is picked up. That's what I care about more than anything. That's why I'm a fan of Joker. Joker is not much of a defender. That's just not who Joker is, right? But I tell you what Joker is not going to do. He's not going to not give you effort. He's definitely going to give you effort. He's going to dig in the paint. He's going to rebound. He's going to try to block shots. He might not be good at defense, but the effort is always going to be there. And people expect, because he's the best big in the game or the best player in the game, that he should be on top of being Chamberlain. He should be Olajuwon too. Well, no, that's not the way that works. And Luka, with as good of a scorer as he is, I definitely see more effort on defense from him. Now, does that mean that he just sucks less? No, I'm not going to go that far because I think that I think that the effort has increased more than it has more than it's in the past. Last year or in years past, you couldn't talk me off the ledge that he wasn't the worst defender in the game. That includes Trae Young. That includes Damian Lillard. I thought he was the worst defender in the game. I just thought all he wanted to do was get back to the basketball. That's it. He looks like he wants to get back to the ball, but he wants to have something to do with getting back to the ball on defense. I like that about him. I do.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward. You know, Chill, is crazy. I'm looking forward to Luka Doncic being one of my favorite players. I want that to happen. Like, I want Luka to turn into a great defender so that I can start supporting Luka Doncic. I really want to.
Ox, people think that we hate him. Like, I might not like your game. Your game might not be aesthetically pleasing to me, but I can still recognize that, ain't nobody better than you. I can still recognize that, okay, I might not love your game. I might not love that, you ain't really that athletic, or you don't play above the rim, or, your play style is basic. I might that might be something that's on my mind. However, I can still recognize he ain't better than you. He ain't better than you. Matter of fact, of these 100 guys, 99, 98 of them ain't better than you. So I can still recognize that about Luka. But if you say, Luka's the worst defender in the game and he doesn't compete and he doesn't try on defense, Ox, you hate him. You hate Luka.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't hate the guy. I just don't. I don't appreciate his effort. For him being as good as he is, he should be able to play on the defensive side of the ball and give me more effort. And it looks like he's been doing that this season.
Chill, you know what? I had a different plan, a different direction on how we were going to steer the show today, right? But I like it when it's organic. And we're talking about Luka Doncic, right? We're talking about Luka Doncic. And previously on the panel, we had spoke about a young fella that I think me and you kind of agreed that we could see this guy essentially passing Luka or being on the same level as Luka. And this year he has came out absolutely guns blazing, taking no prisoners. I want to know, how do you feel about, did you see last night's performance from Anthony Edwards?
I did see last night's performance from Anthony Edwards. And what I appreciate the most about Anthony Edwards, more than anything, I appreciate his aggressiveness and I appreciate his growth. Like, a lot of times, Ox, what you see in players and people, they just equate scoring to improving. What I look for when I look for a player getting better is I look for, okay, where are you getting better? Are you processing defenses better? Are you scoring the basketball better? Is your mid-range incorporated? Is the long ball incorporated in your game? Anthony Edwards looked to me like this season he wanted to incorporate what the game is in his game more. So he could score the basketball. The question is can I shoot the basketball at a consistent pace? Can I shoot the basketball at the long ball line at a consistent pace? Because the defense with a guy like him, they play drop, because him getting downhill, when I'm watching him getting downhill against the Blazers, I mean, you can get whatever you want. And that's not just against Portland. That's against anybody. When he's going to the basket, he gets whatever he wants. But he's recognized that, okay, you playing drop on me, I'm going to crack this long ball. And he did that. And he 100% did that. And when he's doing that, I appreciate the growth of Anthony Edwards. Now, next year, I'm probably going to see something different from him, which is why I said to you, and the guys laughed at me when I said, I think in 5 years, he's going to be the best guard in the game. And the guys laughed at me when I said that, because I'm seeing the growth of Anthony Edwards. I'm seeing how much better Anthony Edwards can improve in every aspect of the game. He already competes on the defensive end. I already think that he's an all-league defender level player. I already think that he's at that level. So I don't question that. It's just a matter of him getting smarter. Now, him playing last night against this Trailblazer team, I mean, he looked great. He absolutely looked great, particularly at the long ball line. I think that's a point of emphasis for him this season. He wants to show that you're going to play drop on me. This is what the game is, and I can adjust to the game. And at the 2-guard spot, I have to consistently be able to shoot the long ball. And he's been doing that. He looked fantastic last night.
Right. I'm two things about Ant. I thought his first step, his first big leap forward was going to be more of a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of controlling the pace a little bit more. I did not expect it to be the emergence of his 3 ball.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Also, there was a playback earlier this season, like one of the first playbacks, I believe, and I'm not sure who was all there. It might have been you and Ron. And I think it was you and Ron. And Ron had mentioned something about Anthony Edwards just going this year. And I had brought up on the panel, like, do we think that this might just be a year where Ant's like, F it, I'm about to just go off. Like, like, what year was that for Kobe? Was that 05 or 06 where he just was like, you know what? I'm going, he scored 30 multiple. He was just going crazy that year. Kobe was going ballistic.
Yep.
And it looks like this might be that for Ant, except for Ant has a team that's, capable of actually making a good run. At this time, Kobe didn't have that. But I think this might be a breakout season for Anthony Edwards.
Well, the conversation that we were having, Ox, and I remember it, is because the conversation we were having was when Julius Randle ended up getting traded to Minnesota, and Mars had alluded that this might be this not a throwaway year, but more of a I'm getting better, and if we don't get to the championship, no big deal, off the strength that we still got this one piece that we're building around. And Anthony Edwards is, and you had alluded to that, Anthony Edwards just might come out and just be the guy that I'm going to average between 29 and 32 this year, and I'm going to show everybody that I've arrived. Now, to your point, when you talk about a guy mentally being there, I see that from guys in terms of them being smarter and the game slowing down. I see that around year 7, year 8, where they get themselves in a space where there's nothing that's tricking them, and they don't have to play as fast. I don't have to play above the rim. Ja has shown me that he's doing that a little bit more. Now, I don't think Ja's there yet, but he's showing me that he's doing a little bit more. Anthony Edwards, on the other hand, is doing exactly what you said. I'm just going to come out and get busy this year. It just so happens that it's conducive with Minnesota still being good. It's conducive with Minnesota still being one of the best teams in the Western Conference, right? It's still conducive with Minnesota still going to be able to compete, I think, for the NBA championship. I got them coming out of the Western Conference, but I just love I love his growth more than anything. I love Anthony Edwards' growth, and I love the fact that he's shown me that I am going to improve. I'm going to show that I'm going to improve because I do work on my game. It might not look like it because, you see me coming into the game, coming into the arena. I got my pants hanging off and, I got a hoodie on. No, I'm in the gym. I'm 100% in the gym. I'm not just showing up. No, I'm in the gym on a regular. So I appreciate that about Anthony Edwards.
If that is the reason people are down on Ant or don't think he's working or think he's just hanging out with the boys or chasing ladies or whatever, and I'm sorry for the people that are that close-minded. I think Anthony Edwards is he's a young fella, and he's just, he's acting like he is who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's a laid-back guy. He likes to have fun. He's a little loud, but that doesn't mean that he's not a professional and he's not working on his craft. So I feel bad for anybody who's feeling that way about Ant, and I don't think he deserves that. And he's proving that he's you don't get this much better if you're not working. Nobody just natural. Sure, I don't care what anybody says. People always talking about, oh, Allen Iverson was never. I don't believe that.
No,
like I don't believe
that. In the gym.
Right, like gym. No, like you don't. You can be naturally talented. You can be naturally gifted, and you might get older, get stronger, get a little better, just naturally like that. But if you're not in the lab, you're not going to have these type of leaps. Anthony Edwards is definitely putting that work in.
100% he is, Ox. And to your point, a guy like Anthony Edwards, he's the consummate Ox guy. Anthony Edwards is a baller. Anthony Edwards is that dude. If he didn't play in the NBA, I equate him to guys like Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Allen Iverson. Like, if he ain't playing in the NBA, like if he was working at the post office, you'll see him in the rec league.
Right.
Every week. Right. He would definitely, you'll catch Anthony Edwards at the park. You'll catch him yapping with some dude at the park. You'll catch him in a rec league. And I don't just mean in a rec league at the age of 22 or 23. No, I'm talking about when he's 40. I'm talking about when he's 50. Like, that's where you'll catch Anthony Edwards because he's a baller. 100% he is. And to your point, when you talk about a guy like Allen Iverson, who, as good as he was, Allen was a baller. And when you're a baller, you have to be in the gym. That's just part of it. That's just part of it.
And so I think we're kind of the same way. Like I can Like how you said, if he wasn't in the league, he'd be in the lab, you know. So I think me and you are the same way, as much as we just really enjoy hoopers. You know what I'm saying? Like really respect hoopers because
that's
we are
us.
hoopers. You
That's
know,
us.
like
That's
chill.
who we are.
I just came back from California just this morning, and I was there yesterday. And you know, me and my little brother, we both have had knee surgeries, whatever, you know. And we in my mom's living room. He said the wrong thing to me. I'm like, bro,
let's go.
Come what? Like, come on, like, you know,
let's go,
because that's just what it is. Like, we just it's just in us, you know. And I love that about Anthony Edwards. I really do.
Yes.
So we got a couple more super chats pertaining to Ant. Let's get to them. OJ Simpson says Ant-Man, just Ant-Man. That's the super chat.
Yeah.
That kid is going crazy right now.
I think within the next year. Within the next year, I think he'll be the best two guard in the game. But within 5 years, Ox, that's what I'm giving him. 27, 28. I think he'll be the best guard in the game. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be a question. You know how like we talk about Luka? I think that's going to be Anthony Edwards. I think he's going to be the best guard in the game. And I don't think it's going to be close.
So not the best two guard, the best guard.
No, he's going to be the best guard in the game, not the best two guard. I think he's going to be the best two guard within the next 365 days. But within the next 5 seasons, by 27, 28, I think he'll be the best. I think he'll be the best backcourt player in the game. And I don't think it's going to be a question. Yep.
Next we have from Classic. Classic says, Ant reminds me of Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. Lamar is known for his speed, but he's actually a better pocket passer. Ant is known for his dunking, but he's actually a better three-point shooter.
He's become that 100%. And Lamar Jackson is a really good example because Lamar Jackson, off the strength of his athleticism, people think that Lamar Jackson is just flash and athleticism. I mean, he does throw the football. 100% he throws the football. And people discount that. He might make some reads that are a little bit questionable. And that was largely due to he only been in the league, 6 years? I think he showed up in 18. Yeah, he only been in the league 6 years. I think we're in year 7. So same logic with Anthony Edwards. I think we're in year 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in year 5 with Anthony Edwards. And like I said, Ox, by around this time, this is probably who he's gonna be. But I love the fact that people are missing the show. What I mean when I say I love the fact that people are missing the show is because when they actually recognize that they're missing it, they're gonna come back in droves. All of them. Right. They're gonna be like, oh shit, this dude is awesome. Very much like I was with Tim Duncan. I'm falling asleep watching Tim Duncan, Big Ox. But then I see the box score that says 26, 12, and 3. And I'm like, hey, Goofy, get your ass up and start watching. What are you doing? This dude is awesome. Stop falling asleep and start watching this dude because he's awesome and you're missing the show. And then I started watching. I'm like, holy shit, this guy is fantastic. I'm wow right now. And that's what's going to happen with Anthony Edwards. It is.
Snowbird Sneakers gifted 5 Players Choice membership. Shout out to Snowbird Sneakers, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I love to see that, man. It's the season of giving, man. Appreciate that, Snowbird. Oops. Changes the subject up a little bit. Jamal Williams says, I still think he'll turn it around, but Bam is looking big and sorry out there, and we won't win games unless he plays better. Shout out to Hero, though.
Well, I think we're about to see something a little bit different considering, Buckets is out of the lineup. So now he's got to play better. Something has to change. I think you're going to lose Buckets with that ankle injury. Knowing Buckets, you might lose him for a month.
Right.
You may lose him for a month. So because of that, Bam is going to have to be more aggressive as an offensive player. Not just as a scorer, but as an offensive player. He's going to have to be more aggressive. Has to be, because otherwise the Heat are just going to be the Heat are just going to be an average team, and I'm 100% confident that Bam is better than that. He is. He 100% is better than that.
Definitely, I believe so as well. Before we get to the lobby, I see you guys in the back. We're gonna start getting to y'all real soon. I see y'all. My man D Reed, what's up, boy? I see y'all out there. I see you, big fan Breezy. Leaf Diggy, what's up? I see y'all in the lobby. We're going to get to y'all really soon. Before we do, I want to bring up this, Chill. Speaking with you, we talked, and you said that you were I believe you said you were approached with the question about the Cavaliers and if they have the ability to actually win it this year. I want to get some thoughts on that. I want to see what the chat has to say in the comments about that.
Yep.
We saw last night they put a hurting on the Warriors. I think the score doesn't show.
No, it doesn't.
The score does not show the hurting that the Cavaliers put on the Warriors last year.
They was waiting outside for them boys. They was waiting outside for them, Ox. Come on in here and get this ass whooping. Come on in. They was waiting outside for them.
Ron, that was actually the playback game last night, and Ron refused to go back to it. You know, I pulled up on playback. I'm like, Ron, we want to watch the game. No,
he was down 40, Ox. They had them 40 in the hole at one point, Ox. They had them beach 40 in the hole at one point. They did. And
so how do we feel about the Cavs, Jim?
Well, sometimes you can sometimes you can undersell Ox, right? Sometimes, my big fella over here, he's really good around the box. He can knock down a mid-range shot. Come to find out, Ox can stretch the defense. Come to find out, Ox nice with the pill. You undersold him. He way better than what you told us he was. Wait a minute, what are you doing? I think I might have Now, I don't get excited about regular season games early. I don't, Ox. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I do, because when we get to the dog days of the season, it's way different. So when we get to January, when we get to the end of January, when we get to February, around the All-Star break, then it gets a little trickier, right? I don't get excited about regular season games. I did get excited about this game yesterday because I felt like this game was a barometer. This game was a litmus test. Let's see where we are, right? We can get an early test to see where we are, to test our defense and what we have to improve on. And they shut the door on Golden State last night, Ox. They did a great job crowding Steph Curry at the long ball line. They did a great job in forcing him into tough shots. Not only did they do a great job in forcing him into tough shots, they did a great job in taking advantage of their size. Evan Mobley was great around the rim. Both him and Jarrett Allen were great around the rim. That started right from the beginning. Right from the beginning with Draymond Green had his head turned and Evan Mobley's right at the basket and Draymond can't see him and he starts with a foul. That's how we start the game. Draymond Green had 4 fouls in the first half. So because they took it, I know that sounds crazy, Ox, because they took advantage of their size. Add that to the fact that they shot 65%, close to 65% on the long ball in the first half. Now, when you shooting the ball that well with Isaac Okoro cracking the long ball like that, Ty Jerome cracking the long ball like that, when you cracking the long ball like that, plus defending at the long ball line, which is what they were doing, they held Golden State under 30%. They held Golden State under 30% at the half. When you're doing that, that tells us that one thing that we are committed to defending. Because I've said this time and time again, when I think about what your calling card is, okay, when you only do this and this isn't working, what else do you do? D'Angelo Russell is a prime example, and I know you're really critical of him, Ox. I do. I know that you're really critical of him off the strength that he's one of those guys who, if he's not scoring the basketball, he's pretty useless. There's really not much else he does when he's not scoring or when he's not knocking down open shots. But when you, as not just a player, but as a team, when you defend, that travels. And that's what happened last night with Cleveland. It's been traveling with them. They got one of the best defenses in the league. They're one of the better rebounding teams in the game. They're one of the better rim protecting teams in the game. They guard the long ball really well. I really like Evan Mobley around the basket, man. I really like the fact that teams drop off of him. And that's what Golden State did. Golden State, they were playing him like Joker was playing Bam. But I tell you what he did, Ox. He went to the rim. If you're going to back off me, I'm not just going to accept this 14-footer. No, I'm going to the rim, and I'm going to take what I actually want. And he did that last night. That's a sign of growth for me, right? That's a sign of maturity. Ox, I can't talk enough about Darius Garland and the maturity that he's had. And I think that's largely due to Donovan Mitchell getting in his ear and telling him, what I equate Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to is Ali and Boudini Brown. Yo, ain't nobody out here nicer than you. You the nicest dude out here. And unfortunately, fans don't understand that players need to hear that. Ox can't consistently hear me saying, Ox, rebound. Damn, Ox, block some shots. He can't consistently hear that and be productive. Ox got to hear from time to time. Ox, he can't keep you off the glass. Ox, he can't cover you on the box. I'm coming to you. If Ox misses a shot, I'm coming to Ox again. Ox, he can't cover you. Go at him again. He needs to hear that off the strength of me building up his morale and him being better. That's making him better. So This Cavs team, can they win it? It comes down to one thing, Ox. And the one thing that it comes down to is, can Donovan Mitchell be the best player in a championship series? That's the $1 million question. Can he be the best player in a championship series? All of these guys that we've seen win NBA championships. You can tell me whatever you want that you knew that this guy was the best player on a championship team. No, you didn't. You know why you didn't? Because you didn't see him do it. So until we see you do it, I don't know that you're the best player on a championship team. I don't know that. Just like I didn't know Doc was the best player on a championship team. As good as Doc was, I didn't know Doc was the best player on the championship team. Turns out he isn't. It was Moses, right? I didn't know that as good as Jordan was, right? And Michael Jordan was fantastic. Did I know that Jordan was the best player on the championship team? No, I didn't until he did it. Once Jordan did it, okay, he's the best player on the championship team. Can Donovan Mitchell be the best player on a championship team? Can he outperform the best player in the finals? Can he do that? Because that's what this is going to come down to. Because I see Darius Garland and I see how much confidence he has. I see Evan Mobley and how much better he's gotten. I see how much better Jared Allen is. Just this unit. I mean, Isaac Okoro had 4 threes last night, Ox. This is a guy who's improved tremendously at the long ball line. But all of that is predicated on this one guy whom they look at, and that's Donovan Mitchell. And can you be the best player on a championship team? If he can, can he? I don't know, because I haven't seen him do it yet. I've seen him be the best player. I've seen him be the best player on a playoff team. I 100% have seen that. I've seen him be the best player in a playoff series. I've seen that. Can I see you be because I saw that last year in Orlando, right? I saw that when they played against when he was in Utah, when they played against Oklahoma City, as good as Paul George was. Donovan Mitchell was the best player in that series. With that being said, right? With that being said, can you be the best player on a championship team? That's what remains to be seen. If you can do that, then we'll start talking about him completely different.
Right. I think he has the ability. I think he does. Yeah, so to answer that question, it's up to D. Mitch, man. D. Mitch, if you want the Cavs to get to that championship, man, let's show it. It's about that time.
Think about the players that we've seen, right? That's how we talk about them differently, right? James, Jordan, like Kawhi Leonard. The reason why we talk about these dudes different is because they were able to do that. They were able to push themselves over the top and be the best player on the championship team. Chauncey Billups. Was Chauncey Billups better than Kobe Bryant? No. But was he the best player in the championship series? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, let's see what the fellas got to say about this. We're gonna grab a couple guys from the lobby real quick. Let's start with my man Leaf Diggy.
What up?
What up?
You can't tell by the frog in my voice, but I definitely am pissed off. You know why? Because why is it, Chilltown, that every time I try to give somebody some damn credit, they turn around and shit they draws? Why is it? Why is it?
Can't say nothing nice to nobody, right?
Why? And every time I come up here, yo, Leaf, man, you don't never say nothing nice about it. And now y'all know why. 40? That was a restaurant quality ass whooping last night. And I was doing my game. And of course, everybody is up and raw. But yo, we about to pull it off in Boston. I'm like, no, we not. But I'm gonna do the game anyway. Because I already know we're not gonna pull it off in Boston because it's not meant to be, bro. I know how NBA games work. I've seen NBA games like this when one of the under the barrel teams is up, man, and they winning the whole game. Here come the fourth quarter. Here come overtime. We lose. Boom. So I'm not mad about that. I put the pressure in that. But that shit that took place yesterday in Cleveland, that shit was an embarrassment. You know why? Because it reminded me of that Luke Longley story, bro, that Jordan told. Yo, he had 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 blocks at the end of the first quarter. At the end of the game, he had 12 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 4 blocks. That is the last time I give credit to anything that I know I don't like. That's the last time I give credit to anything I know I don't like. Bobby, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Steph. You need to take your ass in a retirement ass whooping right there. But
it happens though. It happens though, Leaf. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing it. I want to make sure we clear on that. I'm not excusing.
Yeah, I want to see how you're gonna talk your way out of this shit. Man.
No, I'm not excusing what happened. Again, I watched the Chicago Bulls in 1998 They won the NBA championship. I watched them play the Lakers on NBC. The Lakers beat them by 33, smoked them, destroyed them. So I watched the 1991 Chicago Bulls play against the Sacramento Kings, who were the worst team in the league. They beat them on a buzzer beater. So it does happen, right? It does happen. Now, again, I'm not excusing it. I'm not excusing it. On any night, you could get your ass whooped. What can't happen? I think that we have to give more credit to what Cleveland does than what's going on in Golden State. Like as bad as Golden State was, it wasn't just that Golden State played bad. Cleveland had a lot to do with that. 65% on the long ball in the first half. 65% on the long ball in the first half. Almost 60% from the floor in the first half. Who beating us? If I'm shooting like that, who is beating us? Go line them up. Go line up all the teams. I'm shooting over 60% from the floor, and I'm shooting 65% at the half on the long ball line. Who beating us?
Here's my thing about that. Listen, you saying who beating you? You gonna win the game? You gonna win the game with 65%? Nine times out of a million, bro. Like that 900 million times out of a million. That's fine. But for us to give the sorry ass defending champions a run for their money in their own building, and by the way, we playing Cleveland tonight too. Mm-hmm. For us to do that. And for y'all to go in there with this is somewhat labeled a marquee game. Well, it wasn't really labeled a marquee game. I'm gonna get to that Suns game in a minute because I watched a little bit of it. For y'all to go up in there and for Steph to have more turnovers than field goals made, that shit right there. After what I just said, now, I feel like I'm raising my voice and I ain't supposed to. You know what I feel like? I feel failed, bro. I feel tricked. I feel like because all of that good shit that I said on your page, after all of that stuff that I said, now I feel bewildered. That's what I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Because when I go and say something about you in a positive light, and you go out and shit your pants like that, after giving that up, talked about you defensively and all of that stuff, I'm like, what the
Leaf, I'm sure it's not personal, bro. I'm sure they're not doing it.
Now it is. Now it is, Bobby. You know why? Because when you know what it feel like, Bobby? You ever see somebody drop 35 nights in a row, and then on the 6th and the 7th night, and you decide to put your bread up, they decide to get 25.
Throw a monkey wrench in with everything that you was doing.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I'm still Leaf. I'm still sure that they're not doing it to you. It just happened, you know.
Yeah. But one last thing I wanted to end off with. Okay. The Suns is for real. By the way, I think you need to be putting some pressure on that. So whoever said the Suns is gonna finish 9th, they might want to erase that.
I said that.
You definitely right about Ant-Man and AI, man. If they wasn't playing in the NBA, they'd be playing something, bro. Football, whatever. They're like they just natural athletes, man. I think those guys is just gonna go out there and go get it, man. They gonna go out there and go do something athletic with their body. I'm working on my top 10 defenders of all time, and I'm working on my top 10 rebounders of all time, man. It's obviously gonna include some names that you ain't gonna like. But I don't give a damn, man, because it's my list. So,
all right. Okay, for sure, Leaf. Well, so we appreciate you pulling up as always, fam.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, I'll see y'all soon.
Later.
Yep.
Later.
Yeah, guys. I'm sure that when you get upset about a team that you were high on, don't think it's personal. They're not trying to do it to you. They got their ass kicked. I'm sure they're just as upset as you are. So
if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty confident that Golden State didn't go into Cleveland going, yo, let's get smoked by 40 tonight. I'm pretty sure they didn't think that. Nah.
And even more so, I'm sure that they didn't get their ass kicked. Like, let's get our ass kicked to piss Leaf off.
Let's specifically piss Leaf off, right? Let's do the best job that we can and get stomped in here so Leaf could be pissed off because he bigged us up a couple of days ago, right? So let's get stomped so we can piss him off. Nah, that ain't what happened, brother. No.
Okay.
That is not
let's see what my man D Reed got to say about this. If I'm not mistaken, D Reed is a Cavaliers supporter.
He a Cleveland.
D Reed, you there?
Sure. D Reed is a Cleveland guy. 100% he is. Yep. D Reed is Cleveland through and through. So,
I see you just went off of mute, D Reed, but we can't hear you.
We'll see.
I'm gonna come back to you. Come back to you.
We'll see if we can get him back. Yep. We'll see if we can get D Reed back.
I'm sure Marcus is ready. What's up, Marcus?
What up?
What's up, y'all? What's up?
What up?
Man, y'all already know I'm an Ant Man, so you already know I'm gonna talk about it. Chill, you want to know what he's shooting from the three?
I think he's shooting 45% at the long ball line.
No, higher. Higher.
50?
It's 48. It's
so 48.
48%. Okay. It's 48%. And yesterday, the thing I liked the most was his passing. You know, he's actually throwing lobs now. He was not doing that before. He's actually throwing lobs.
Mm-hmm.
He made a pocket pass to Rudy. Man, he's been incredible. I didn't expect this amount of like volume
growth
and makes.
I did.
No, chill. You're not higher on Ant than me. Okay? You're not higher.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. That's a fact. I'm not as high on Ant as you are. That's a fact.
Yeah, I expect the world. But yeah, he's been incredible. The Cavs are, bro, they were lights out yesterday. Like Isaac Okoro, I think he was like 3 for 4 in the first half. Ty Jerome hit like 3 threes in a row. They had everybody boxed up in Buckamiga in the first half. But man,
I like what I'm saying from them, Joe. I do. I like it.
Bro,
I really enjoy that. Here's the $1 million question. Here's the $1 million question. Here's the $1 million question. Can Ant sustain? It's like once this levels off, where are we with Anthony Edwards once this level? Because he's not going to shoot 48% from the long ball line all season. I don't see it happening. I doubt that that's going to happen. So where does this level off with Ant? Are we around 38?
He ain't gonna be 30. No.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Are we anywhere between 38 and 43? Because like 48 is not sustainable, but I don't see him falling off a cliff and going to like 35 neither. I don't think that's gonna happen. So I think we're gonna see somewhere in the middle.
He ain't going no 38. It's gonna be 40 or above. It's not gonna be no 30s the way he's shooting right now.
Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference, Marcus. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is that really sustainable? Is this really sustainable? Don't get me wrong. It's obvious Ant's been in the lab. It's obvious that Ant's been in the gym. His confidence is at an all-time high. He's getting busy. Him shooting the long ball the way he's shooting it. How guys, not just in drop coverage. He's actually shooting it like last night with a hand in his face. He's actually shooting it off the dribble, which I like that about him, right? I do like that. The question is when you are at the long ball line that much, I think he's shooting 11 or 12 threes a game. When you at the long ball line that much, it's not sustainable. At some point, you're going to go into a slump.
I'm going to tell you why it is sustainable. Because, he doesn't have to work so hard to get downhill. Ant said this multiple times in interviews already this season that, him going downhill is going to take, it took something out of his leg. Now that he has Julius Randle, penetrating, and, a lot of times he's kicking out to Ant for catch and shoot threes. Like, catch and shoot three from Ant is like a bucket every single time. It's like almost like 2.5 points of possession. Like, and that's saving his legs because all you got to do is just catch and shoot. So, like, when he's shooting these step back threes and these contested threes from our eyes, he has the legs to do that now because he's not penetrating, as much as he once was when he was Cat, because Cat wasn't a real penetrator. He was really just a spot-up shooter. And, he would drive sometimes, but, he'll get a couple charges. But he was like the real main driver. Now, Julius is the main driver, so Ant got more legs to, to do that. Because three-point shooting, especially from that deep on the NBA court, it's legs. That's what it is. It's legs. You're going to need your knees for that, And that's why I think not 48%, but for sure, 40% or above, I definitely think that's sustainable with Julius Randle on the floor because he doesn't have to drive as much and, take as much pressure on his legs as much as he did before.
I told Ox was actually surprised when I told him a stat that when Julius Randle was with the Knicks in the 22-23 season, he led the league in paint kickouts for threes. The Knicks shot 51% off those kickouts. The next guy behind him was Giannis. Julius Randle did that. And I felt like this crew, and Ox was actually surprised about that stat because a lot of people think that Julius Randle is a ball hog and, he's just putting his head down. He's a bull in the china shop. He will get off the peel. 100% he'll get off the peel.
For sure.
But with him being on this unit, I think that definitely helps Anthony Edwards. 100% it does.
Yeah, it helps his health. It helps his health. It helps his health. I think Julius Randle now is a better fit than Cat because I think, me personally, I think Ant's always been a great catch and shoot player. I think last year he was like 42% on catch and shoot threes. He just didn't shoot enough of them. His catch and shoot trade ball is his best attribute. You know what I mean? Besides him getting to the rim and finishing, I think that's his best attribute. So, Julius just kicking and stuff, man. Like, that's 48% is never sustainable for no person ever, unless we that's a million years in the future.
Yeah, that's definitely asking a lot. So,
but can he shoot 40 to 42? Yeah.
We'll see. Right. We will see.
All right, Marcus. Appreciate you pulling up, fam.
Yes, sir. I don't know, Ox. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can appreciate what Ant is doing right now, and it looks great. We're gonna get to a stretch, especially if you're a long ball shooter. We're gonna get to a stretch where these guys go into slumps. Curry goes into a slump. Clay went into a slump, especially when you are a primary long ball shooter, and this guy is shooting 12 of them a game. Now, I don't think that he's gonna fall off a cliff. I'm not gonna go that far because, again, he still can shoot it, whether it's drop, whether it's off the dribble. The question is how sustainable is Ant as a consistent long ball shooter, and what is consistent? Because 48%. I mean, that's not realistic. What's realistic is, can he crack? I mean, for every 5 that he shoots, can he crack 2 of them? I think that's sustainable. I don't have a problem with that. Now, if you're telling me that for every almost 2 shots he takes, he making 1 of them, nah, I don't think that's realistic. No.
Yeah, I don't think he can code it, but we'll see. Until the fall off happens or the slump happens, that's what he's doing right now. So we'll see. I mean, we've been shocked before. Now, I'm not saying he's going to shoot 48%. I'm not saying that, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna put a quick pause on bringing everybody up. Let me read a few of these super chats. FIFA's little brother says, I think Jamal Murray heard me about the G League.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yes, he did. Don't forget, they just extended Jamal Murray, right? And I equate Russell Westbrook. I equate Russell Westbrook to who Terrell Owens was when he was on the other side of his career. Terrell Owens will throw a monkey wrench in your depth chart if he comes into your camp, and your number 1 wide receiver is whomever it is. Terrell Owens will come in there, have you thinking, should we be starting this guy instead of this guy? That's who Terrell Owens is. I mean, and that's what Russ is doing right now. Russ got people thinking, should we be sticking with Russ or should? And no, as we all know, Russ, he's got one of those up and down games. Which, by the way, Russell Westbrook. Since we're on that subject, Ox, like Russ is one of the biggest enigmas in the game because there's a lot of people, including yourself, who's not a big fan of Russ's game, right? But as effective as Russ has been, I think that there's only one guy in the game, I think that's James, who's made more money than Russ. There's nobody else in the game that's made more money than Russ. That's number 1. Number 2, Russ has been around for as long as he's been around, and we don't nearly talk about how effective Russ has been. I think at the end of this season, Russ is getting close to the 25,000 point, 10,000 assist club. I mean, James is the only other guy James is the only other guy behind that velvet rope, Ox. Ain't nobody else in that space. And I think that a lot of people don't appreciate Russ, and I was one of those guys because I expected so much more. When I saw him in the FIBA World Championships and I saw Derrick Rose, just from the eye test alone, I'm looking at these 2 dudes and I'm going, he better than him. Everybody was Derrick Rose, I'm like, that dude is better than that dude. And nobody wanted to hear it. So I kind of kept it to myself. But I looked at Russ and I'm going, I think that dude is better than that dude. And his health was sustainable, him getting downhill, and Russ's game, it just translated. Like he moved into the rotation role, and he's a guy who's insurance more than anything. And when you need this insurance, you don't get a lot of bullshit phone calls from the insurance company like, wait a minute, did you do this? No, it's, we'll write the check. Here you go. That's who Russ is. All right, you got it. We'll write the check. So I mean, I'm appreciative to who Russ is and who Russ has become. Now, there's people who telling me, if Russ were to get a ring, he's in the top 10 all time. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You already think that anyway. So why does a ring change that? A ring should not change that. If you already think that about him anyway, the fact of him winning, that doesn't change that. No. The way I feel about Karl Malone, if Karl Malone would have won, he would have been in the top 10. Well, no, I'm not sure that Karl Malone would have been a top 10 player all time. I'm not sure about that. Even if he would have won. I said that before, but I think it would have been arguable. But he definitely would have been up on the list. But that shouldn't change how you feel about him if he didn't win.
Okay. So 2 guys yesterday had almost identical stats. They both played 29 minutes. They both had 29 points. They both had 5 rebounds, except for Shai had 4 assists and Chet Holmgren only had 1 assist. Terrence, can you talk about Chet and SGA last night? That's what Terrence wants to do. I personally didn't see the game. Chill, did you check out that game last night?
I did. Yes, I did. And I saw SGA completely take advantage of Dillon Brooks. I said I'm on record saying this, Ox, that there isn't a guy that I've seen in the league whom you can't. There's only one guy that I've seen in the league that you can't speed up or slow down. There's not one guy. There's only one guy that I've seen in the league who you can't take him out of his game, and that's SGA. Whether you try to play physical with him, whether you try to crowd him, whether you back off of him, he's going to do exactly what he knows how to do. Whatever that is, how crafty he is at getting to the rim, he did a great job in fawning off the physicality from Dillon Brooks last night and baiting Dillon Brooks into fouls and getting Dillon Brooks off the floor. They did a good job last night in taking advantage of Chet. I thought that Sengun would have been better considering how physical Sengun is, but Chet got busy around the rim more than anything he did. He got busy around the rim. I like this Oklahoma City team, yo. I do. I like this Oklahoma City team. I like how effective they are on their perimeter defense more than anything. I mean, as good as Chet is at the rim, and that's what when Swipe and I had this discussion, and Swipe was telling me that it's solely about Chet. I'm like, yo, they got 2 elite perimeter defenders on the wing, and arguably 3 in Lou Dort and Alex Caruso and SGA. So they got 2, arguably 3 elite perimeter defenders. When you have that plus a rim protector like Chet, you have to be a great defense. I'm not saying you should be a great defense. You have to be a great defense when you have that. It's not like what was going on in 2021 when it's not like what's going on in 2021 when Rudy was playing with that Utah Jazz team where it was just Rudy. Even though Donovan Mitchell was on that team, Mike Conley was in year 14 and he was long in the tooth, right? It wasn't that wasn't what was going on. No, this team actually has some really good defenders on the wing, really good, and they contribute to how good Chet is. Because Ox, as much as you are a rim protector, and as good as you are a rim protector, you do need me to slow this dude down.
100%.
That's coming at you. You do need me to do that, and if I'm doing that, that makes you more effective as a defender. And I feel like last night, I thought the guys like Case and Wallace, I thought they did a good job in staying in front of Fred VanVleet and forcing him into tough shots. Not just forcing him into tough shots, making Dillon Brooks take shots when the shot clock is going down. I'm still not sure what Ime is doing with Jabari Smith. I mean, because I understand the level of accountability that he has with those guys, but I feel like, there has to be some consistency with Jabari Smith. Because Tari Eason, he's what Drew Holiday is to that Olympic team. I mean, Tari Eason is Ime Udoka going, yo, he's on the floor. I'll figure out the rest of you dudes, but he's on the floor.
Right.
But that Oklahoma City team, they for real. They 100% for real.
Yeah, definitely with those perimeter defenders and all those defenders. It's not just Chet. They got a great defense over there. But
yes, they do.
Swiper was captain. We're used to that. No big deal. No big deal. Also, as far as Jabari goes and Tari Eason goes, I like both of them. I think Jabari's better. I think Jabari's a better overall player. I think Tari Eason is one of those guys that's a pivotal. Like, he's pivotal as far as bringing that energy. He's one of those guys that you really need if you're planning on making a deep run or if you're planning on upsetting the superior team.
Yeah.
Jabari's one of those upsetters. Like, he's one of those guys that's going to mix it up, and he will allow us to beat a team that we know is superior to us.
Sounds like he one of those guys that throws a monkey wrench in what we're trying to do. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's the way he plays.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Sound like he would do. Well, as Gary Payton would put it, he's the fuck up dude. Like, whatever we're trying to do, he just puts it all up.
Right, for sure. Okay, let's see what Big Fan Breezy got to say. If he got something to say about last night's game, or if he got something to say about tonight's games. The Nets versus the Cavs.
Cavs in town. Yep.
Yo, Cavs Breezy, are y'all going out like the Warriors?
Nah, I want to see if they bleed. You remember that part when Batman told Superman, he said, "Do you bleed?" I want to see if they bleed. They 10-0. We were really close to beating the Celtics yesterday, and Cam Thomas had 31. But I'm not gonna make this about Cam Thomas. I seen the Bucks. I seen Giannis say something to somebody in the locker room, and it looked like that whole thing about to get dismantled. And I gotta say, that pick looking sweeter than it's looking sweet. You know what I'm saying? It's looking real sweet. But I think the Cavs is on a back-to-back. We on a back-to-back. I think we're going to compete. Jordy Fernandez, I got to say, shout to you, Big Ox. You told us y'all was sending somebody over good, and he's a quality head coach. He has a no-nonsense.
You did say that.
Word. He's zero tolerance for the BS. So I like what's going on.
I didn't expect Brooklyn to be as good as they are right now. And I'm telling you, friend, Ben Simmons is getting traded. It's happening. I'm telling you, Ben Simmons, at some point, he is getting traded off the strength that picks that you're talking about. Maybe we can generate some more and let Brooklyn keep staying in games like they did and keep winning games like they are. I think you guys are what, 500, and if you're not 500, you're probably a game under 500. So
4 and 5,
let these dudes stay around 500. That Ben Simmons stock is going to look good. I'm telling you, it is.
He's playing. He's playing. Well, he's playing. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't expect that.
That's the most important part right there. That part right there. He's on the floor.
Yeah, but he's impacting the game. Jordy Fernandez is asking him to take more shots. He took 6 last night. He was 4 for 6. He's good around the basket. To be honest, it's a pleasant surprise to see him hooping the way he is. But we need him, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I was, kind of disappointed in everything that happened before this season, but it's all forgiven. It's all forgiven. You know what I mean? He gonna play like that. We forgive him. But to Leaf's point, nah, bro, I didn't think we were gonna lose and none of that. But I think that we're developing an identity, being in tough games with the Celtics, taking them to overtime. Even morale wins don't mean much around here, but I think it was good for the group. I watched post game interview with Cam Thomas and Jordy Fernandez. They look like they keeping their chin up, and they ready to compete tonight. So, I'm looking for us to continue to be competitive. And I'm just saying all that to say, regardless of what happens this season, I think we're gonna be great in the draft next season.
All right, we're gonna find out. Definitely gonna find out. Good to talk to you, Breeze.
Likewise.
Yes, sir. I had the Brooklyn Nets. I thought, with the exception of the Trailblazers, I had them at the bottom of the league, including Utah. I thought Brooklyn was going to be the worst team in the league. No question about it. I thought they were going to be worse than Utah. I thought they were going to be worse than Portland. And I know it's still early. I mean, this Tuesday, we'll be 3 weeks into the season. So I know it's still early, but we'll see. We will see. They're a lot better than what I thought they was going to be.
Yo, Leaf, what you doing on my porch, bro? What you want?
What? Oh, I'm back. Oh,
what you want, bro? You in the back huffing and puffing? What happened?
No. I was looking at something in the hallway, but actually, I was.
I thought you had something pressing. I got. Leave. I got. Hold on, bro. Hold on. I thought you was trying to kick in the door. I just wanted to make sure everything was everything. But if this is all copacetic, Leaf, I got to move you back. I'm gonna get back. To you.
I was gonna say one thing before.
Hold on, Leaf. I'm gonna get back. to you, bro. I'm gonna get back to you.
All right.
I thought he was trying to kick the door and shit. He came in. He was in the back. He was looking upset. I'm like, what? Did we say something to upset you, Leaf? Good to know. Good to know everything's okay. Good to know everything's okay. Back to these super chats though. Dejor Bohannon, Sam Presti did it again. AJ Mitchell.
Great. Sam Presti's a great GM. He is.
What's up with Sam Presti, Chill?
Yeah, great GM, man. He's got a unique eye for talent. He's got a unique eye for talent. Not only does he have a unique eye for talent, he very much is aware of the salary cap and how the CBA works, and a lot of the stuff that he's doing, you know, getting guys not just for cheap, but got guys on rook deals, and I got some time to extend I got some time before I extend these guys, so I'm trying to get the most out of them. I equate it to football teams that, you know, have a running back where I got this running back. I'm probably gonna have him for maybe 4 years, then I can franchise him, and then I can probably franchise him again. So, I really like what Sam Presti's doing with this crew, though. I like it.
Shout out to Sam Presti, man. He's amazing. From someone random.
Yep.
We need a way to hold these refs accountable. It's getting ridiculous. Games decided on refs' decisions. This is getting out of hands. Why are refs so bad? Do you think refs are even bad at all?
No, I don't think that. See, someone random. Number one, just so you know, these referees, 95% of their calls, they get them right. You're focused on the out of bounds call he missed with 2 minutes in the game. You focused on the travel that he missed with 3 minutes left in the game. You focused on the push that he missed in overtime. You focused on that. These referees get 90 to 95% of their calls right. The guys in the playoffs get close to 99% of their calls right. That's the difference. But you get focused on that other stuff. Now, of course, you're going to miss calls. More times than not, they're getting it right. But add that to the fact that, why do we get to that point? Why we gotta rely on the refs to bail us out? I don't want to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. You are, and if I'm not mistaken, someone random is a Dallas Maverick fan. You guys had Phoenix in the chokehold last night, and y'all let them back in the game. And now you want to complain about the referees. Now these guys want to complain about the referees at the end of games. No, I'm not doing that. No, the referees do their job. And just so you know, referees, when they blow calls and when they miss calls, when you talk about referees being more accountable, one, I can get taken off games. So that Phoenix Dallas game last night, if I blew a call that was egregious, now I got to go see the supervisor. Now, instead of me doing the Cavs Warriors, or me doing Milwaukee and the Knicks, I got to do Detroit Portland now. I got to do that.
Right.
Or I'm taking off that game. So, and on top of that, and really quickly, and on top of that, where we go is where we're looking to go as officials, they're looking to go to the playoffs, because that's where the bread is. So when I don't make calls, I don't get on that playoff list. I do not get on that playoff list. No, that doesn't happen.
Right. I hear you, Chill. And I said this last season, and I still stand on it. I think there should be some type of post-game interview situation with refs too. You know, like I wouldn't be upset at that, you know. Maybe not all of them, maybe just like the lead official come in and, you know, let the media ask them some questions. I think that'd be cool. I think it would be good for transparency. I think it would be good for education as well. I think that would help a lot of people understand what refs are seeing. I think it would help. You know, Chill, I didn't know, because I reffed a little bit, and I was terrible at it. I mean, and you know, I had no, you know, because I'm just so used to just watching. I'm just watching the game. I see something, I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be, you know. So I'm a terrible ref. But when you were kind of breaking down, I think what happened was you were breaking it down after that. When LeBron got hit against the Cavs last season, and he had that mental breakdown at the end of the game. When Boston. You kind of right, exactly, and you kind of started explaining. You were explaining what each ref's job is, and what this ref's supposed to be watching, what this ref's supposed to be watching, you know. And a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know exactly what each ref's job was, right? And so I think that would be good for education as far as just, you know, fans that don't know, and it can kind of help us with blaming everything on the refs. We want to blame the refs for every little thing. And I think that'll help. And on top of that, we have to remember that we're watching the game. Sometimes we're watching from a bird's eye view. Sometimes we're watching from this angle. We don't see what the refs see. Yep. We don't see what the players see. They don't see what we see.
Right.
You know, we have an advantageous angle when we have the cameras in so many different camera angles. Yep. So I think it would be good to maybe, you know, I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think that would work out okay if we had like a press conference with you?
I do. And the reason why, because I think that you get a better perspective on how hard it is to be a ref. I think that you get a better understanding, Ox. When we talk about being an official, I equated it to being a cop. Ox, I got to do something right now. I don't have to do something in 5 minutes. I don't have an opportunity to think about this. I got to do something right now. And now we got instant replay, so, you know, I could go back and look at it. But for the most part, I have to do something right now. So if I'm standing, like we just got finished talking about, you got 3 officials on the floor. The guy in the trail, that's the guy that's closer to half court. That's the guy that's focused on what's going on in the middle of the paint, that's rebounding, and he's focused on what's going on in the middle of the paint, rebounding, and he's focused on what's going on at the top of the free throw, from the free throw line out. The guy in the C, which is the center, that's right where the free throw line is, that's the guy on the one side of the floor. He's focused on what's going on from the free throw line all the way to the basket. All of that action. And then you got the lead guy. That's the guy on the baseline. He's focused. If he's on the left side of the floor, Ox, I'm focused on from right here where the line is to the block, all the way to the free throw line. That's what I'm focused on. And then all the way to the sideline. That's what I'm looking at. And it's called my primary area. I have to do something right now. So if I got a matchup with Ox and Dell, and Ox and Dell on the box wrestling, I can't see the ball go out of bounds over here because Ox is trying to get position on Dale, and he's throwing bows, and he's pushing. I'm focused on that because I don't want that to get out of control. So when it gets missed that the ball went out of bounds off White, well, I'm paying attention to Ox and Dell on the box because this is my primary area to watch. When these guys as officials, when they have to explain a lot of the stuff that they do, I think it gives them I think it gives people a better understanding of what exactly refs do.
Yeah, I think that's necessary, too. I think it's necessary for us to be educated on different people's jobs. That way we can, we can stop blaming refs for everything. Yes. But just a thought. Do you think Malone should and will get away with playing Jokic 40+ minutes through the season because bench minutes will always get them to a draw?
Well, there's a reason why you do all the stuff that you do in the offseason, and you do all the stuff you do in the offseason so you can play throughout the regular season. I think that these guys fans get so wrapped up in why is he playing so much? I mean, that's my job. There's a reason why I'm the max player. There's a reason why I'm on the books for $45 million. This is my job. You're of the generation of do less and make more. But then you want me to talk about you like the guys who did more and got paid less. But you want me to talk about you like those dudes. I'm not going to do that. So the fact that Joker is playing 40+ minutes, I don't have a problem with it. That's why Joker lost 35 pounds 2 years ago. That's why Joker got himself in better shape. That's why Joker is the best player on the team. I got no problem with a guy playing that many minutes, and it's sustainable. I have no problem with that. Right. Especially if it means us winning and losing games. I have no problem with that.
Exactly. That's where it is right there. Especially if it turns out for the better. What I refuse to do is I refuse to baby and coddle world-class athletes.
I ain't trying to hear none of that.
Yeah, like I refuse to. Oh, he's tired. He should be. He's a world-class athlete, though. He will be okay. Trust me.
So.
Like
I think he will be.
A lot. And on top of that, a lot of times they're gassed. Like, yeah, you're gonna get a little winded, but these dudes, they get out. They leave the court and they go out in the back and work out. Like a lot of these dudes go and then they go get another 5 miles on the bike, do some lightweight lifting. You know what I'm saying? They go and get another workout. These dudes are fine. They'll be okay. Trust me. Don't worry about these dudes. They got great recovery. They get massages, they get the ice bath, they're doing their heating, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? They do all of that. They're fine. Their bodies are okay. Trust me, I bet you they feel better than we do. You know?
Well, Ox, you said it. You said it yourself. I'm a professional basketball player. I'm not. I don't. This isn't something that I do on the weekends, and I got a day job. I am a professional basketball player. This is what I do for a living. My job is to keep my body in shape. That's my job.
Right. Why do you think these dudes are getting paid $50 million to?
It ain't just because we on TV. I can tell you that right now. No,
right. These guys are amazing at what they do. Like, this is a whole nother level of athlete. These dudes are in impeccable shape. You know what I mean? It's amazing. We kind of talked about this already, but I'm gonna read the super chat anyway from Jordan Guy Game. Can Ant sustain this level of shooting ability?
Not from the long ball line. I don't think so. I do think that at some point it's going to level off when you're shooting at that volume from that far away. Eventually, it's going to come down. Now, the question is how much does it come down? And I don't think it's going to come down tremendously because Ant takes good shots. That's largely the reason why he's shooting the way he's doing, because he's not taking a lot of bad shots. A lot of the shots that he's taking are shots that he can make, guys, and drop. And, you know, he's wide open. You know, he's not taking a fall away 26-footer with two guys hanging on him. That's a bad shot. That's not what he's doing. He's taking good shots. So I do think that it's going to, I do think that it's going to drop, but I don't think it's going to drop significantly. I do think it's going to level off at some point.
Right. Duke Baylocks, chill. Can I hear your 2 cents on Zach to the Lakers?
Dude, you've been talking about Zach to the Lakers for how long? I mean, what about Zach LaVine? And this is a genuine question. What about Zach LaVine since he's been in the league has suggest winning? What about Zach LaVine since he's been in the league, been on any crew, has suggest that he can contribute at a high level to winning? Nothing. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that on this crew, I mean, D'Angelo Russell could be playing better, but there's a lot of you guys that are over D'Angelo Russell. I get that, right? A lot of you guys are over D'Angelo Russell, and I get that. But
Duke is answering your question in the chat, too.
Did he? I don't know, but
he's saying the team. He's saying the team that he's been on is suggesting.
Yeah, well, the team that he was on. Okay, the team that he was. So if he gets on this team, what happens now? Are you saying that Zach LaVine gets on his team? Is he 26 a game on this team with the Lakers? Is that what you're telling me? So now he becomes a legit number 2. So what happens if he's on this Laker team and he's like 16 or 17 a game? Can Zach LaVine not play? If he's like 17 or 18 a game, get the hell out of here. I ain't buying that. He's not 26 a game on this team. Get the hell out of here.
Not 26, chill, but I could see 21.
And okay, with him being 21 a game on this team, how much does he contribute to them winning? Because Zach doesn't really defend that much, and JJ Redick is going to hold you accountable. That's one of the main reasons why D'Angelo Russell had to park his ass on that bench. That's one of the main reasons why he had to park his ass on that bench. In addition to him not knocking down shots, because I've already said that, you know, D'Angelo Russell is one of those guys where if he's not making shots, it's kind of useless. There's really not much else he does except make shots. So a guy like Zach LaVine, I mean, Zach LaVine doesn't defend at a high level. He's not a big-time distributor, not even a big-time distributor. He's not even an average distributor. He's more of a bucket getter, great in transition, right? More of a bucket getter, great in transition. So he gets on the crew with James, and how much better does he make the Lakers? Are they immediately a championship team now with Zach LaVine? And when they don't win it, then what's the problem? Is it James again? Is it Anthony Davis is soft? Like what's the deal?
Right. Let me see. Somewhat random. It was a great game. We had 2 starters missing. Mm-hmm. Problem is they tough on calls on one. Mm-hmm. There's tough on calls on one side only is BS. If they go last 5-minute calls, we're defo skewed. Oh, maybe so. Okay, chill. I want to kind of dig into your standpoint on what you saw last night. Full recap of Friday night's game. Can you give me maybe your most impressive team, most impressive all-around game, player that you're most impressed with. And you can even go on the opposite side as well. Talk about who you need to see a little more from, team-wise and individual-wise.
To be honest with you, Ox, I'm loving how Detroit is competing, man. I love it. And that's coaching. That more than anything, that is coaching. That's JB Bickerstaff changing the culture in Detroit. He got that crew believing that they can compete and be in games every night. They're not walking in the arena thinking that we're going to lose. No, every team that they play against, the attitude is we got an opportunity to win. And I love that about them. I absolutely love that about them. The Celtic game that I watched without Jaylen Brown, no KP, I mean, as good as Cam Thomas is and as good as Cam Johnson is, I dug that the Celtics were able to hold on. I mean, Jason Tatum, I still think he's at the top of the. I think he's at the top of the lead board. The game, like I said, the game that I was the most impressed with was the Cavs game and how they just completely and utterly destroyed the Golden State Warriors. To Ox's point, do not let that score fool you. It was way worse than that. Do not. Do not let that score fool you. Ox, there is a crater-sized hole in Milwaukee. We got to. I didn't realize that. I mean, I just came to the back of the ship. Somebody told me that there's a hole in the ship, and they're telling me, "Yo, the ship is going down. We got to do something, and we got to do something now because we can't wait anymore. We are taking in water, and the ship is sinking." I got Giannis, and Giannis wasn't talking to somebody on the team. I think he was talking to one of the reporters.
Right, I think so as well.
I think he was talking to one of the reporters. Ox, and this got my blood pressure up last night. If I'm on a team with Giannis, who is one, the ultimate competitor, two, goes harder than I don't think that there's many guys who play harder than him. If he's got a question whether or not I'm competing, you know what? I probably shouldn't be here. You should probably be off the crew because he asked last night more than anything. We got to match the fight. And we didn't match the fight. So all the other stuff, them moving the basketball, them getting better looks in transition, them getting better shots, them playing defense, them being tougher. Okay, all of that stuff, all of that stuff is well and good. Did we match the fight? And we didn't match the fight. They competed more than we did. And what I can't have is I can't have us losing and not competing. Because you know what that tells me, Ox? That tells me that you're okay with getting your ass kicked. It's a difference between losing and getting your ass kicked. And that's what happened last night. We got our ass kicked. And none of you dudes around here seem to care about that. None of you dudes around here seem to care about that at all. And I got a problem with that. Ox, I didn't appreciate that ass whooping last night in Sacramento. I didn't. I did not appreciate that ass whooping last night in Sacramento. I did appreciate Norman Powell, though. Nobody's really talking about Norman Powell and how much more productive he's been. And I got roasted when I said that it reminded me of Jeremy Lin when I think about Norman Powell, who's always been a bucket, right? Who's always been a bucket, but not knowing that he's been this. Not knowing that he's been this good. I think he's 25 a game. He's been 25 a game. He's shooting. I think he's shooting the long ball. I mean, not the long ball. At the stripe, for the last 5 games, he's shooting close to 90% at the stripe. He's been fantastic for the Clippers because he's able to expand his game. I don't got to look over my shoulder. If I'm out here for 25 minutes, I don't have to hurry up and get shots because I got to go right back to the bench. No, I'm going to be on the floor for as long as I'm going to be on the floor, and I'm going to be able to play my game. He's good in transition as a long ball shooter. He's actually a really good one-on-one player. You turned me on to him, Mox, when you said that's Devin Booker with the green light. I'm watching him. I don't think he's the athlete that Devin Booker is, and I think Devin Booker's got a better mid-range game. But in terms of an overall scorer, I mean, Norman Powell is a bucket. He is a bucket getter, and he will consistently put pressure on you. I like how he beats up on smaller guards. Even though he's like 6'3", 6'4", I like how he beats up on smaller guards and is really physical with them. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Norman Powell. And while we bullshit Knox, he might be the most improved player in the game this year. He might be.
I could see that. The only issue I have with him being the most improved player is he's been this nice. It's just that I don't think he got better. He just right. I think most improved players should be reserved for guys that got better. I don't think Norman Powell got better. If anything, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Norman was better than this. Like I'm telling you, I'm so high on Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell was better than this 3 seasons ago. 2-3 seasons ago. Norman is nasty, chill. On top of that, competes on the defensive end as well.
I like that about him. Yes, I do. I do like that about him, that he will. And the reason, and I understand it too, because when I watched him last night, I was thinking about you. The reason why I was thinking about you, Ox, because again, why does Ox gravitate toward Norman Powell? He's a hooper. He is a baller. Norman Powell isn't just one of them dudes that's just gonna come off screens, that's gonna methodic. No, Norman Powell is the dude in the gym. Like, who next? We busting y'all ass too. That's who Norman Powell is. And when he comes into games with that kind of confidence. And the fact that they don't have Leonard, and the fact that James Harden is the willing passer that he is, that makes Norman Powell even better as a scorer, because he knows for a fact that I know that this dude is looking for me. That's a confidence thing. When I know that a guy that's that good is looking for me, that just brings more confidence to me that whoever's standing in front of me, you can't stay in front of me. Nope, not at all.
And I love what I saw from Norman. Hater had to be us, but hey, I hate it had to be us. But hey, ball is ball, and I loved it. I loved every minute of what Norman Powell, and just the Clippers in general. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, James Harden just being the willing passer he is. That's the thing about facilitators. You can be a good passer, but are you a willing passer?
Those two things ain't the same thing.
Right. Are you a willing passer?
I can pass the ball, but or I'm looking more for my shot, which leads me into, like, a lot of y'all dudes talk to me about LaMelo Ball, and a lot of y'all dudes talk about this, and this is what I'm talking about when I talk about understanding the game and understanding what the job of a lead guard is. I don't know if you guys know this, but LaMelo Ball this year, he's averaging 6 assists to almost 5 turnovers. That is terrible. That is awful that this guy does that. Not only that, he's also the same guy who's averaging 22 shots a game. The next guy in line is averaging 13. Why is my lead guard shooting almost double the next guy? Not only is he shooting double, so he's shooting almost double the next guy. And on top of that, he's got a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. But, he's getting 30. He took 29 shots last night. He shoots a lot of bad shots. And when I see him, if I'm being honest with you, Ox, he looks like a lesser efficient. I can't even say Trae Young. No, because Trae Young gets off the field. Trae Young actually passes the ball. Trae Young will get other guys involved. And when he does that, he puts Charlotte in a really precarious situation. I'd like to see him pass the ball more. I've seen 7-8 assists from him. He's not a good decision maker. He shoots wild shots. That's what gets Charlotte in a lot of trouble. He doesn't get a lot of other guys involved. He looks for his offense first. He doesn't defend. When you have guys like that on the crew, that's not a recipe for success. That's fool's gold, because it looks good early.
I 100% agree with you. LaMelo Ball shoots some of the worst shots I've seen. Where I got to give you a little pushback is, I've watched LaMelo Ball this year absolutely compete on that defensive end.
Yeah.
That's the only place I can give you some pushback is I've been impressed with LaMelo Ball's ability and willingness to compete on the defensive end. But that's all.
I can appreciate the competition aspect. But Ox, for a guy 6'7", 6'8", and I think he's a decent athlete. I think he's a lot smarter. He should be better than what he is. Now, I shouldn't ask you. We shouldn't be at a point where I'm praising him, especially a young guy, competing on the defensive end. We shouldn't be at that point with him. He should be better. Luka on the other hand, I mean, Luka's limited as an athlete. So there's some limitations with Luka. So the fact that Luka's actually going to compete, okay, I see it. With LaMelo Ball, no. The fact this is what I should have been getting from you from the beginning. You should not be a guy who just wants to get back to the ball. And I'm not buying the idea when I hear this from people, and not just necessarily today, but I've heard this from people in the past about, who is he going to pass it to? You didn't know who Jalen Johnson was. You had no idea who Jalen Johnson was. Now all of a sudden, Jalen Johnson looks fantastic on that Atlanta Hawks crew. You know why? Because Trae Young gets him involved. The only way that we're going to know who these guys are when your lead guard puts them in position to score, and he isn't shooting all the shots. That's bad offense. That's bad team chemistry. That's bad offense. And he needs to get those other guys more involved in the game, and he hasn't.
I think the issue with LaMelo too is that he wants everything to be a highlight. You know, like it's cool to be flashy. That's fine. Like I'm not one of those guys where it's just like, oh, why are you throwing no look passes? Like, but sometimes it's just not necessary. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big issue with LaMelo.
Yep.
He wants everything to be a home run. He wants everything to be just a highlight. He wants to be, and he's just a flashy guy, which is, that's whatever. But I'm okay with what I've been seeing from LaMelo this year. I was always down on LaMelo. I've been down on LaMelo since high school. And I'm liking his competitive nature. I just think he can shoot some smarter shots. I think he definitely could, and kind of maybe tone it down. It's nothing wrong with a good chest pass. Thumb, push your thumbs out. Good chest pass. That's all. Chill. I got somebody in the lobby that wants to holler at you. Chill.
Yep. What up,
dude?
What up?
Yeah, man. So you think this team is better without Zach?
This is Duke Blaylock's here. This is Duke Blaylock.
Do I think who is better?
The Lakers without.
Do I think the Lakers are better without Zach? Well, I don't know what they look like with Zach. So, sure.
Put Zach at the 2 and put Bron at the 1. That's scary hours right there.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about no defense.
And why not? So you're just gonna outscore people, even though as of right now you're in the bottom 5 in the league in defense. So you're just gonna outscore everybody. That's
Zach
what you're gonna do.
And AD.
So again, Duke, what you're telling me is you're just gonna outscore people. You're not gonna play defense because that's where you are right now. You're in the top 10. You're in the bottom 10 in the league in defense. You're just gonna outscore everybody.
Oh no. We got AD, and then we're gonna have Vandal coming back. So
you got AD right now, and you're still at the bottom of the league. So when you add Zach LaVine, how does that make your defense better?
Vandal's coming back.
Okay, so you haven't seen Vandal in almost 2 years. How does Vandal make your defense better? He hasn't played this year. He barely played last year. Last time I saw Vandal was in the playoffs against the Warriors. I haven't seen him since then.
He's one of the best defenders, and he's an Energizer Bunny.
That's not the point. The point is that I haven't seen him. When have you seen him?
Last playoffs.
Last year? Was he playing in the playoffs last year? I don't even remember him playing in the playoffs against Denver.
That was the year before.
So that was 2 years ago.
Okay,
so 2 years ago. So now what you want to do is you want to add another bucket getter to your roster. You got one of the worst defenses in the league, and you think you're just going to outscore teams. And one of the main reasons that you lost to Denver is because of that. One of the main reasons why you lost was because of that. So now you want to add Zach LaVine, who's a worse defender.
Zach could go shot for shot with Jamal, though.
So that's what you want to do? So you want to go band for band. Because we're not going to stop you. So we're not going to stop you. We're just going to go bucket for bucket. Dude, that's not realistic, man. It's not. And that's what. So let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly, dude. You want Zach LaVine to go bucket for bucket with Jamal Murray and Joker with that 2-man game. That's what you want to do.
And AD too. AD gonna be a part of it too.
No. Mm-mm. What have you seen from Zach LaVine to show you that he can go bucket for bucket with anybody in the playoffs?
He's an explosive scorer. What are you?
I ain't asked you that. I'm asking you in the playoffs, dude. What have you seen from this dude to show you that he can go bucket for bucket with anybody? I seen Jamal Murray in the bubble get busy. Then I seen him in the NBA championship get busy. What have you seen from Zach LaVine?
He ain't have Jokic, so that ain't Jamal had Jokic his whole career. So,
but Zach LaVine has been in the playoffs. Is that not a
fact?
Yeah,
boy. He ain't have a team have Jokic though.
That's not the point. You just talking about him going bucket for bucket with another guy. Who is he going bucket for bucket with?
Well, he ain't had the opportunity.
You keep saying have the opportunity. He was the second when you lost Lonzo Ball. It was now DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in the playoffs. Who have you seen him go bucket for bucket against?
Well, he ain't had a team around him, so he couldn't go bucket for bucket.
They were 5th seed. They were the 5th seed the year he went to the playoffs when he was with the Bulls. They were top 5 seed.
Well, that's a different team. This the Lakers, So Lakers, he going bucket for bucket with a dude like Jamal Murray.
All right, we'll see. We're gonna have to see it then. I'll have to see it.
Hey, I got another question though. Who better this season, Cade or Bron?
Who is better this season? Cade been looking really good. He 100% is looking really good. I'm still taking James over him.
That's all you need to know.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all though.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, dude. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
I'm really. I like what I see from Cade. I'm 100% taking Bron. 100% I'm taking Bron.
Still taking James over him. Still.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Chill. We got some games going on today. Actually, we got a playback too. You on the playback today, right?
I don't think so. No.
No? Oh, okay.
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah. Not that I'm aware of.
I thought we was doing the Nets Cleveland game.
Oh, I that's news to me, Big Ox.
Okay. Well, yeah. I know I'm on there. I know you're scheduled to do it with me. If
I am, then I'm there. Well, let's make sure we clear. If I'm supposed to be there, then I'm there. That's not a question whether or not I'm there. Yeah. If I'm supposed to be there, I'll be there. Yeah. Maybe you just remember. I'm glad you said something because the last thing I want is for it to be 8:00 and I'm supposed to be somewhere and I wasn't there. So
man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're going to be getting out of here pretty soon, because the last thing you want is Claire blowing up your phone. And if you missed that playback chill,
no, you do not want the suits on your ass. No, you don't.
Shout out to Claire though. Shout out to Claire. We love you, Claire.
Yes.
We got 4 games today. Jazz, Spurs. Can I get a prediction?
The Spurs handle them.
Okay. The game that we're doing on playback, Nets, Cleveland.
I think Cleveland handles them. Back to back. They didn't have to travel that far. Also, Brooklyn's coming off a back to back. I think that I think Cleveland handles them. Excuse me.
Okay. Bulls, Hawks.
The Bulls actually, the Bulls look like they might be going the other way, and Atlanta came off a real tough loss last night from Detroit. I think they get Chicago tonight. I do.
Okay. And last but not least, we have the Raptors versus the Clippers.
The Raptors and the Clippers. I'll take the Clippers. Like I said, Norman Powell's been great. James Harden's been one of the better, more willing passes in the game. The Clippers defense, I didn't give the Clippers enough credit, Ox, for what they've been doing defensively, and they've been really good defensively. Around the rim, even on the perimeter. I like what I'm seeing from the Clippers. I do. I like what I'm seeing from that crew. And I mean, I still don't have the Clippers making the playoffs because the Western Conference is a nightmare. And I think they're going to be a play-in team knocking on the playoff play-in team door. And I think they're going to be on the outside looking in. But for the most part, they haven't been bad.
Right. And before we go, I just got to say, my man, Smoke Rich Biggs in the chat. This is the reason why I hate the Lakers fan base. This is why the Lakers are a top 5 worst fan base in all of sports, in every single sport. This is why they're top 5.
Cowboys, Raiders, Yankees, Lakers. Who else? Warriors.
Yeah, I can't stand the Lakers or their fan base.
What did he say?
Well, I mean, he's acting like because Jared Vanderbilt played 29 games last season, and we're acting like he's not injury prone. He was injury prone the year before that. Then this year last year he played 29 games. He's not playing now. He missed all the playoffs. He's hurt. He's always hurt. Yeah. He's always hurt, Smoke. And that's okay. Y'all delusional down there in La La Land. And that's all right, man. Hey, we love y'all, but we hate y'all at the same time. It's been an amazing show. It's been an amazing show. We love these Saturdays. Anybody in the lobby that we missed, man, I'm sorry about that. We'll get you next time. Make sure to always click that link. Chill. Got anything for the people?
Absolutely, man. Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Last time you talked to your mother, call your mother. If you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, my man right here, he got you. Give him a call. He will not leave you out there by yourself. No, he won't. I promise you that. So we will see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. Good to see you guys.
Yes, sir. Love yourself. Love yourself.